Resident Evil has had its fair share of unexplained moments that we have been left to fill the gaps with, such as what happened to characters like Billy Cohen or Carlos Oliveira after their one-off stints, who was Ada Wong really working for in Resident Evil 4, and just who are the connections. But a recent mystery that came to my attention thanks to Twitter user Wesker's report is whose blood is on the dining room floor of the Spencer estate. As quipped by Barry, we hope it's not Chris's blood, but whose is it? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay notified of new content. When we first arrive at the Spencer estate, after avoiding the pack of Cerberus, we hear a gunshot from the west wing. When playing as Jill, you investigate along with Barry, and come across a puddle of blood in front of the fireplace where the emblem would rest. Depending on if you're playing the remake or the original, there may or may not be a puddle of blood in Chris's campaign. Because of this, and the fact neither campaign is 100% canon, we have to rule out this being Chris Redfield's blood. Also, the sheer amount of blood lost would have meant that Chris would have had signs of injury from the attack to his time in the lab holding cell. But this still begs the question of whose blood it is. An unlikely choice would be Captain Enrico Marini. We see him in the catacombs beneath the garden of the mansion, sat on the floor with laboured breathing and possible signs of injury. But it doesn't explain how he got from the dining room to the underground chambers while sustaining massive blood loss. Our next potential victim would be R.E.T.I.N.A, but this one is even less likely than Enrico, with him being attacked by the Yawn BOW and sustaining a poisonous bite to his left arm and his chest. Yawn would only be encountered in the attic and the checkered floor room or library. Why it would venture down to the dining room makes little sense, unless it somehow slithered out of the fireplace and ambushed Richard, but then his initial appearance to Jill or Chris would make little sense, so this rules him out. The general consensus among fans has been that it could be Kenneth's blood, which would make some sense. He ends up in the nearby hallway, where he has his throat ripped out or his head comes off depending on which cutscene you witness. But if the blood in the dining room belonged to Kenneth, he wouldn't have made it to the seating area without leaving a blood trail behind him. Our next option is Forrest Speyer. This one is an extreme long shot at best. Say Forrest was ambushed by a zombie in the dining room and took a significant injury which caused him to spill blood on the dining room floor. Then he would make his way up to the eastern second floor hallway, leading out to the balcony, leaving blood on the floor and the walls. Then as he makes it out onto the balcony, he is attacked by a flock of crows and succumbs to his injuries and passes out, to later reanimate as a zombie. But again, this poses a problem. In the remake, the hallway leading to the balcony has changed, with no evidence of blood on the floor and the walls. So this makes it likely that Forrest was attacked by crows while investigating the area, and succumbed to his injuries while sat on a chair before coming back later. This would rule out Forrest as a victim. So far we have ruled out Chris, Enrico, Richard, Kenneth, and Forrest. So what does that leave us? It leaves us with the only logical explanation left. The blood in the dining room had to come from a zombie. The blood most likely belonged to the zombie that would attack Kenneth. This is how I believe the event happened. Kenneth goes to the dining room to investigate the area. He finds the body of a zombie laid on the floor near the fireplace. He turns away to check the surrounding area for clues, but the zombie gets up and begins stalking Kenneth. He fires a single shot at the zombie, spilling its blood on the floor, leaving a sizable puddle near the fireplace. In the main hall at the same time, Wesker, Jill, and Barry or Chris overhear this shot. Kenneth bolts to the adjacent corridor and seating area with the zombie in pursuit, firing more shots before being overwhelmed and devoured by the zombie. Once Chris or Barry and Jill investigate the dining room, they don't hear the other gunshots, and are unaware that Kenneth is being eaten alive next door. Until Jill or Chris enter the corridor, and find the zombie tearing at the flesh of their former comrade of Stars Bravo team. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and share, and also subscribe and ring the bell to stay notified of new content. Thank you, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon.